here. He still does the same thing. He's tanky, he's reliable, he is a good weak side champion. And starting, he's saying, I was popping off in the Diana last game. Let me do it again. Now the question is, can you do it without Max Screen to set you up? And you're blind picking at this time. You don't know what Julie's gonna pick into it. He doesn't have the Yasuo available. So what's left for Julie? What would he want to play into the Diana? I think that's the biggest question right now. Now, what do you think his options are? Maybe something like Zed, maybe something like maybe even a Riven mid. I wouldn't think that's too out of the picture here, but we'll have to see what he wants to pick up. Main thing I want to touch on right now, TF gets Riven again, so he can carry yet again. And you narrow against Chuck, it's going to be a pretty standard matchup. Renekton Darius, it's pretty uninteractive.
Yeah, I think that's where I was going to go. I don't feel like TF is going to look to give that Riven to Julie. Probably wants it for herself. Says, hey man, you know what? I feel like I'm feeling pretty good at this Riven today.
Yeah, I won the game with Riven. Maybe we should just give it to him. And Kiro, he's still feeling himself. He still wants to perform on that Ezreal.
The whole of SBTC.
Yeah, I mean, he knows there's no Zyra Khan this time, so I think he'll be happier picking that one up. So I want to see what Old School's answer is to this. Maybe a Vayne angle right here. It's not bad. Maybe a Kai'Sa angle as well.
Okay, so Thresh didn't quite work for them last game.
Yes, please don't pick Thresh.
But this time around, you know, Aquino still has a couple of options. Maybe even go for something like the Janna. We saw how that was able to work for Team Secret and Hermes, being able to block a lot of the initiation. That seems like an appropriate response against Tribe.
Well, I'm quite curious about what the marksman pick is going to come out right now from Old School. I feel like you would want a 5th pick support to ensure that that lane, as well as the team compositions, get rightfully answered. All right, we're just going with Rom here. And this means you might be right. This could be a really good Janna angle. It would deny the Vi very well, and it would punish the lane against Brom very well.
I'm getting pretty good at this wicked band stuff.
You're getting pretty good. You're getting pretty good. What's next, right? This is the pick here from Julie. What does he want into the Diana? I love it. Let's go. Your tournament lives are on the line, and you pick up the fish. You're gonna answer with this. I like this. You deny the Vi. Grom can never touch you, and you have a decent matchup here against the Diana.
Absolutely. Being able to have that trump the water now also puts the pressure onto Old School to make sure he has something with some safety. Without that, that's a big risk of getting caught out.
No. This is not what he wanted to do.
Playing into the Fizz now. SBTC.
Why?
Well, I think Reki Zoro is going to be a little bit disappointed. He just mentioned something like, what, 17 games on that no-flash Braum. It looks like they're going to double down on it once again.
But the Braum is not entirely the issue here. When you pick up this Varus pick into the comp that SBTC are running, what did you say just now, Brendan? You need something for a bit of safety?
Yeah.
Even you identified that. Tribe did not identify that they need some sort of safety. Like, what is Poke gonna do against SBTC's team comp right now? I think the last 2 games, Tribe dropped that very well, and that set them up for success. This time around, though, I have a feeling that this Varus pickup is going to be the nail in the coffin for Tribe Gaming.
Okay, so different look for Tribe Gaming. Similar for SBTC Esports. Are we still looking for a Kiro show? Quick response? Show?
I mean, come on, let's be real here. This is a Fizz in the game. Do we really need to ask this question?
Okay, and for Tribe Gaming, does Old School still have his importance? Because previously, he had DPS. Now with the Varus, it's a different thing.
It's a different story altogether, and they need to play the lane a lot better. They need to get a lot more value out of this Varus in the early mid stages of the game. Because when you go to the later stages of the game, I think he's just going to get evaporated, eviscerated. He's going to be gone from your screens before you know what happened. And that's the problem here. With that said, the burden now is entirely on starting. He's the one that's required to pop off. And this time around, he has no one facilitating. It's all him. This is the pride and joy of NA. This is the player that you guys are touting as your star mid laner. He's coming in here. He had a great performance on Diana last game. Can he do it again by himself this game?
Look, keep it simple. Looking at Tribe Gaming, we expect great things for them. And the way they were able to bring the fight to SBTC, the way they were able to set things up and force SBTC to check into them worked so well for them last game. Now in game number 3, this is where everything matters. It's a clean state. Forget those past 2 games.
Best of 1.
It's a best of 1.
Starting fresh.
This is everything on the line for both these teams. If they want to keep their run in the Horizon Cup going, they must win here.
And I can't think of a more poetic way to decide this last game as well. The hero of NA, your new up-and-coming prodigy, starting, going up against Julie, who has been so consistently delivering on his signature pick in this Fizz. And I think that's a poetic way to close this one off. One of these teams gotta be sunsetted, riding off into the sunset. one of these teams still have a chance of making it to playoffs.
You missed such a great chance to say riding off in the horizon.
Okay, I'm off the cast, guys. That's it. I'm too tilted right now.
Well, there we go. Let's get things going. SBTC and Tribe Gaming both start this one off with a very safe position. Neither side really looking to go for anything too crazy, because if you end up losing a mid-exchange, for example, then things could go very poorly for you. I'm very curious to see how this bot lane matchup is going to go, because I feel like if Kiro is able to build a lead in this early game organically, he's going to be able to scale so much faster than Old School.
Yeah, and I love what Starting is doing in this lane right now. He started off with the shield because he knows that Fizz's trading patterns early rely very heavily around his second skill, and he needs to trade autos with you. If he's trading autos with you, you have a shield and damage from your shield, you're always going to come out on top. Chuck coming out on top in his trades as well. Now we see the map start to get split. It's top and mid for Tribe, going up against bot lane from SBTC. How's this going to play out?
You say that, but at the same time, looking at where TF is likely going to go, I think they're actually going to try and pick up both sides if possible.
Ideally, you always want both sides.
Yeah, looking at what's happening right now, you can see Aquino roaming by with TF trying to get more pressure down. Julie's going to bait something out. They might end up seeing a catch-off on Tri, forces the flash on T-Tigers, and that's a start for SBTC.
That's a start for SBTC, but they will not be able to control both sides of the map because Unero has been losing trades, and because Aquino now has to return to the bottom lane. Look at this, they're playing chicken right now. They're playing chicken. TF does not want to start.
There we go, there's no flash, and TF comes in with a double knock on the double stun. One more heart attacks, the first of the blood for Julie, but yet Tribe are in here with the piercing arrow to take down the Fizz.
And this is all about tempo. If you're sacrificing tempo on your bot lane for Aquino to roam, that means in 10, 15 seconds, that's the timing window for Old School and Max Green to roam, and they find exactly that. Nice little cheeky play here from Aquino. Playing around tempo, yet again, stopping the recall of Starting. It looks like TF, he will be able to pick up double Scuttle Crab here, and that's going to be huge. Look at the chicken that they're playing right now. No one is starting a Scuttle Crab. TF does not want to start anything, he just wants to T-Tigers can get. Here we go once again.
The fight continues. TF gets some good damage onto Max Green, and like we mentioned earlier, he doesn't have that flash. TF's gonna lose a lot of health. The heal comes in clutch, and T-Tigers falls again. Old School gets followed through with his Kiro that comes in, looking for the last kill. One more attack through the barrier. Kino's on the pursuit as well. Give him anything he needs. He's gonna get it all.
Starting might die here,
Starting loses so much HP. He's still level 4. He just came out of it.
They come true. They pick up the kills here. Kiro flashing in. We talked about the Kiro show last game. Well, not last game, 2 games ago, and he does it again this time. They blow so much to try to kill TF, and he manages to get out of dodge. Why? Because of Kiro. He heals him at the absolute last second. And Kiro might have seemed like a face plant, but I think it was all calculated here. He gets onto Old School, and this was a bit of a copium play here from Starting. He wants to save his marksman so badly. He has no ultimate, and that kill gave Kiro level 5. It gave him his ultimate, the true shot barrage to take that one down. The gold right now is in the pockets of the people you wanted it. Julie on this Fizz, Kiro on this Ezreal. You could not be happier if you were SBTC.
Look, that's the thing, almost. Starting just came right out of the base, walked over, was still level 4, had no gold, no EXP, and Kiro punished him hard. SBTC now hold a lead in this early game, but how will things keep moving for this team?
Look, Brandon, Julie's going all in. He has the death cap right now on this Fizz. It's a 2,000 gold lead for SBTC, but keep in mind, it's barely even 4 minutes. It's basically 1,000 gold a minute, and that's what you love to see from SBTC. Okay, they're playing on form. They're playing the way they need to. Julie might get baited right now.
Okay, things start off, but you always have that play for Trickster. It's an easy out to get away from any kind of engaged Jack Glacial Fissure to get the lockdown to the Kino, but the Monsoon, where is it? It's too late. He still goes down, but John the Water comes in and the damage out. This first pick in game number 3 is massive.
They set up the bait so well there, Grandin. Aquino, he survives just long enough to use that Monsoon. The Charm of the Waters comes in. The Ribbon, Broken Blade of the Exile, whatever you want to call it, it comes in as well. And they chop Tribe Gaming in half. And this is the problem. Their team comp is not cohesive like it was last game. It doesn't make sense. What are you trying to do here? You want to dive in. The Bears and Romp, they want to play out. you can't make up your mind. Your team is not in sync. Look at this.
This is the X Effect replay. Let's see how this one goes. Like you mentioned, Aquino buys just enough time.
Aquino buys enough time, but why does it matter? It's enough time not for Tribe Gaming to get in and secure the kill. It's enough time for SBTC to react and respond with their own ultimates. And this is what happens when your team comp is not cohesive. Half of you want to go in, half of you want to poke. You just don't have the synchronization here.
And a big problem for Tribe Gaming, but it's too late to change the draft now, so you just need to figure out what to do with what you have. And, well, Chuck, he's in a bad spot now because Aquino's walking in, and I have to say, these Southeast Asian Jannas are just so wild.
Yeah, I mean, scrim meta is something we touched on a little bit before, right? So you can assume that Aquino and Hamas have been sharing these picks with each other in scrims. I'm not saying they're talking to each other, but you're playing against each other, I'm sure, pretty often because you're from the same region, you're in different groups. Reasonable to assume you're scrimming a lot. And this Janna pick, I think, is something that's been rising to prominence here. It's a Southeast Asian special, and I'm glad they're bringing it back on the world stage.
And so important against a lot of these teams with hard engaged stuff like the Lee Sin that's looking to dive into your backline to take you out. You have to have some kind of response there. Well,
it's
now,
great against the Diana.
Exactly. Well, now we also have to take a look back at the state of the game because SBTC Esports, while we've been so infatuated with their play so far, they've also got the Dragon and the Rift Herald.
Oh, Chuck goes in. Oh, Chuck's going to get taken down.
Absolutely. TS right there. They get the initial stun off, and that's enough damage to finish him off. Surely the barrier's going to come out. He's under turret, but it's still going to go down.
You're not safe under your own turret because you narrow on TF, Riven and Renekton. I can't think of a duo more mobile, more threatening than that once they get on top of you. They try to make a play to answer on the other side of the map. We saw what Julie could do on Diana in a 1v2 situation. This is even more slippery. I think he's happy to just toy around with Tribe Gaming right now.
And Rift Town is still available for SBTC. Didn't commit that for the Baron lane. They're still looking to try and find more value with it.
Yeah, and this is exactly why I don't want to see Tribe Gaming run a comp like this with their tournament lives on the line. Max Green, look at how he was playing in the last game. He was instrumental to their successes. This time around on the Brom, he's getting dragged around the map. He has no play to make. He can't be proactive, and this is not a good look for Tribe Gaming. Old school as well. His clutch plays in the last game were why they succeeded. Now in the Varus, what can he really do? What can he do as the Varus? Going up against a Fizz, a Riven, a Renekton at that.
Huge problems. Even going for the Zai at this point without the Rakan might have been better because it allows for a little bit more safety. I know you mentioned and alluded to that Kai'Sa pickup. Something that could have been more aggressive.
This is huge though. Rift Herald gets popped for the tier 2 right now. SBTC, they say, want to race. We will race you, and we are Lewis Hamilton right now. We are going down into your base. It's going to get a second charge onto the tier 2.
Alright, I don't quite get that reference, but I'll take it. That's going to be Julie. He goes down the mid lane, but he's bought enough time to escort the Rift Herald one tier deeper. Going to get that charge on that inhibitor.
No, you're not diving this.
You know, he's looking to force his engage. They jump on the max screen. They have enough damage to finish him off, but now with the crowd control blocking them, stopping them, TF's gonna come in, and that's Chuck finally joining into the fight. The fight has been split up between two fronts. Aquino comes in to block a lot of the damage, send them Monsoon, send them away, and yet Tribe will come up ahead.
Tribe will come up ahead. That was an ambitious dive there for SBTC. Started out with Julie getting picked off in the mid lane while his team was in the bot lane. But SBTC, they're not afraid to take skill checks. They're not afraid to test you. They're not afraid to go up against you toe-to-toe. Every fight you want to take, we will do you one better. While his entire team was at bot lane, Julie just goes in it. Very ambitious.
Okay, that was actually super critical, the way he was able to instantly use the Chains of Corruption to get the catch onto Julie. If Julie is now aware of this, I see a very high chance he dodges away from him with his play for
Trickster. It's the mind games, right? Because if you Chains of Corruption immediately, you get played for Trickster dodge. So they really just come down to a mind game.
And I really want to highlight Kiro's damage at this point because while Chuck is able to soak up a lot of it, nobody else can. And once that Gargoyle Stone play is over, Kiro's hitting like a truck.
And I can tell you, playing Darius into an Ezreal, Janna, even a Fizz, it's not very fun. You kind of just feel like you can't reach anyone, you can't grab them. I just want to apprehend someone and spin, for God's sake. But you're never going to be allowed to do that.
Okay, SBTC, they're going to get corralled into the bottom end of this Dragon Pit. Julie's on the other side. He's in the mid lane. They have a chance to pincer this, but it's no way they can stop the Dragon.
Yeah, Tribe Gaming can never start this because of where Julie is. They'll just stab you menacingly from behind you, and you can never walk into the river. Tribe Gaming, they don't dare to start this, and Julie's playing chicken with them. They don't know that he reset it. Because of that, he gets a reset off for free, and Tribe Gaming, they still lose out on 10.
Right, Vision over Dragon means so much more. Unero gets to come in now, and SBTC, they had the perfect window to go back to base. Look at the damage from Kiro. Yeah. One shot puts Sea Tigers basically down to half of the Dragon assisting.
And they can never start it because they can never do anything about Julie. This fist pick is so threatening right now.
Okay, watch out for Julie because he has a great angle to flank with the Trump the Waters to set something up. And yet Tribe Gaming, they're watching T Tigers. He's looking for a steal, but I don't think it's going to be worth it. TF looking for engage of his zone.
Going T Tigers.
Shot the Waters is going to zone them now, but T Tigers, he's caught off by the wrong side. Corrupting Chains comes out. It's barely going to stop SBTC, but your jungler still goes down.
That was desperation. Plain and simple for T Tigers. He needed something, and he made the wrong choice. His back was against the wall. Now that means SBTC, they get it all. They get the Dragon, they get the kill, they're going to get the Rift Herald. Are they going to get a chance to still make it into playoff, Brendan?
Look at what happens. Mastery immediately exhausts Unero. The second he dashes in, uses the cleave, and I think that just kind of sums up the situation. Trying feeling the pressure now.
They're starting to feel helpless, and this comes back down to two things. One, the draft. This is the first draft, I think, where SBTC, they got a clear advantage. Game 2 draft definitely went in Tribe's favor. Game 1 draft, there could be arguments for both. This time around, SBTC, they're showing us, if you give us the cards, this is what we can do.
Absolutely, SBTC. Well, I think an absolute, incredibly high risk. I'm a little bit lost for words. Incredibly high risk taking.
Me too. Watching SBTC play like this, it brings a tear to my eye. This is the SBTC that we expected from day one. Took 2 days and 2 games, but maybe we'll finally see.
I'm feeling it now. I'm starting to see some signs of life from SBTC, especially in this game. Well, Tigers leads the initial engage, but back screen, he goes down so quickly, and as it jumps the water, it forces the Hourglass out from Old School, but he's stuck in stasis. This gives Unero the time to come in. Yeah, he's gonna go over the wall. It's the Quadra kill. It's a day of Quadras for everyone.
It's a day of Quadras, but where are the Pentas? I think SBTC, they don't care about it. They are exhausted. They've had some tiring, difficult games to get here, but it looks like finally, Grendon.
That Rift Herald.
That Rift Herald is still alive. They might go for the game here, Grendon. Maybe SBTC get here with a statement.
Surely that is an inhibitor. Nexus is open, but with the reduced damage on Nexus turrets from the Rift Herald, I don't think they can end things yet. But they will get that second inhibitor as well.
12 minutes, 2 inhibitors. I can't think of a better way to do it here for SBTC. You look at the scoreboard. 9 kills for TF, 5 for 5 for Julie, and 9 assists for Kiro. The kills are in the right place. The people who want to see stepping up are doing just that. Conversely, for Tribe Gaming, I hate that their tournament lives come down to a game like this, to a draft like this. But Max Green, he doesn't have the tools in his hand. I think that's a heartbreaker for him. Old School as well. He played so well in the last game. And we really need to see starting the man with the resources here to really just step up.
And that's the thing. If Tribe Gaming had more games to play, we could see their further growth. We've seen how they've gotten better over the course of the competition.
This is a good call. Death Rush went down.
But now against this form of SBTC, the draft makes all the difference. It's too little, too late. Tribe Gaming make a Hail Mary play to take down Unero. They find the first take off, but TF is still alive, still available to take you down. Watch out for the rest of your team because they're losing their lives to this ribbon. He got a quadra last time. This time he just gets a triple, but triple is enough for him. He says that's all he needs. Julie is looking at takedown starting. One last kill to finish things off. SBTC are prepared to win it all.
That was a heartbreaker there. Starting, he knew he was done for. And this is at 30 minutes of game. SBTC, come back alive.
And this means SBTC tournament hopes are still alive. They get another chance tomorrow. 2-1 against Tribe Gaming to make sure they get the keep.